Hey everyone, and welcome. Before we get started with today's deep dive, if you could just take a quick second to subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, give this a like, and maybe drop a comment down below, it would be a massive help. Seriously, your support means the world to us.
All right, let's get into it. Today we're tackling a huge question, one that I think affects pretty much all of us. Digital detox. Is it actually a necessary reset? I mean, we live in a world that is always on, always connected. So is taking a break even possible? Is it worth it? We're going to look at the science, the psychology, and some real-world strategies to figure this out. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to define the issue in a section we're calling the digital dilemma. Then we'll pop the hood and see what's happening to our minds with the brain on screens. After that, we'll explore the detox solution, including why some people are skeptical. And we'll wrap it all up with finding your balance, giving you some practical takeaways.
Okay, let's kick things off with Section 1, the digital dilemma. This is really all about putting a finger on that feeling, that sense of being constantly plugged in, always available. We're going to define what this state of perpetual connection really means. And this quote just cuts right to the chase, doesn't it? It's so powerful because it highlights the two-front war this is waging on us. It's not just that we're tired. It's that being constantly connected both exhausts us and it actively harms our ability to focus. It's a double whammy. I mean, does that sound familiar to you? That experience of trying to read a single page in a book and you get to the bottom and realize you have no idea what you just read? Or just feeling completely wiped out at the end of a day even though you barely moved from your chair? Yeah, you're definitely not alone. There's a term for this whole thing: hyperconnectivity. It's this nonstop stream of pings, dings, updates, and feeds that are all fighting for a little slice of our brain power. And the really tricky part, the changes are so subtle. They just kind of creep in over time, slowly rewiring how we think and feel without us even realizing it's happening. Which brings us perfectly to Section 2, the brain on screens. Okay, so we know what the problem feels like, but now let's get into the why. Why does being so connected have such a massive impact on us? The science behind this is honestly both fascinating and a little bit scary.
It really starts with a powerful little chemical in our brains called dopamine. You can think of it as the reward chemical. It's what makes you feel good. And here's the thing. App designers and tech companies know exactly how it works. Every single like, every notification, every buzz in your pocket is engineered to give you a tiny little hit of dopamine. It creates a loop that keeps you coming back for more. And you can see that loop right here. It's the super simple but incredibly effective three-step cycle. It all kicks off with step 1, the cue. That's the ping or the buzz that immediately triggers step 2, the compulsive check. It's almost automatic, right? We just reach for the phone. And that leads to step 3, the dopamine reward. That tiny little hit of satisfaction. Cue, check, reward. Over and over and over again, all day long.
Okay, next up is something called cognitive load. Picture your brain's working memory like the RAM on a computer. There's only so much space. When we're bombarded with a constant stream of information, our brain gets totally overwhelmed. We like to think we're multitasking, but we're not. Our brain is just switching between tasks really, really fast, which is super inefficient and just exhausting. And of course, we have to talk about FOMO, the fear of missing out. This is way more than just a trendy acronym. It's a genuine anxiety that's constantly fueled by social media, where we see everyone else's perfectly curated highlight reels. It creates this nagging feeling that no matter what we're doing, something cooler is happening somewhere else, and we're missing it. So what's the end result of all this? Well, you start to see these very real repercussions creep into daily life. Maybe you find your mind wandering during conversations, or you can't focus on a book anymore. You feel more stressed out, more irritable for no reason. Your sleep gets messed up from all that blue light. It even makes it harder to solve problems. These aren't just random symptoms. They're the direct cost of digital overload.
All right, so we've laid out the problem pretty clearly. Now let's talk about the proposed solution, the digital detox. In this section, we're going to explore what that actually means, and importantly, why it's a bit more complicated and debated than it might seem.
So, what is a digital detox really? At its heart, it's just a temporary, intentional break. It's about consciously deciding to step away from your devices for a specific amount of time. The goal isn't to quit technology forever, it's to lower your stress and hopefully get some of your focus back. And the great thing is, it's not an all or nothing deal. You can see here there are different flavors. You could do a short-term detox, maybe just for an evening or a weekend to get a quick mental reset, or you could go for an extended break, like a full week, for a much deeper recovery. There's even a functional detox, which is all about being more mindful of your device use during the workday to boost your productivity. And the potential benefits? They're huge. People report feeling their mental energy come back. They sleep better. They feel more present and mindful in their day-to-day lives. Their real-life relationships get stronger. And that constant nagging feeling of anxiety and FOMO, it starts to fade. But, and this is a big but, here's where the debate really kicks in. For most of us, is it even realistic to completely disconnect? I mean, with our jobs, our families, our entire social lives so woven into the digital world, is the idea of a total disconnection just a fantasy? And that really brings us to two very different ways of thinking about this. On one hand, you've got total abstinence, just quitting cold turkey. The initial impact can be huge for sure, but for most people, it's just not sustainable. And on the other hand, you have what's called mindful moderation. This isn't about quitting, it's about being intentional. It's about thoughtfully choosing how and when you use technology. It's a long-term strategy, and frankly, it's a much more realistic one. And that's the perfect lead-in to our final section, finding your balance. We're moving past the theory now and into the practical stuff. This is all about actionable strategies, things you can actually do to build a healthier, more intentional relationship with your technology. And the best part is, you can start small, today. Things like creating no phone zones, like at the dinner table, or finally going into your settings and turning off all those pointless notifications. Unfollow accounts that make you feel bad. Check your email in batches instead of reacting to every single one. Try to put your screens away for an hour before bed. And maybe, just maybe, pick up an old hobby that doesn't involve a screen. And here's a kind of cool, modern approach. You can actually use technology to fight technology. There are some brilliant apps out there designed to help you. Forest, for example, makes it a game. You grow a virtual tree if you stay off your phone. And others like Freedom or Cold Turkey can literally block distracting websites for you when you need to get work done. But here's a really important point. This isn't just a personal problem. It's not all on you. While setting your own boundaries is absolutely key, organizations have a huge role to play too. A workplace culture that expects you to answer emails at all hours is a culture that's breeding burnout. The smart companies are starting to realize this. They're putting in policies like no emails after 7 p.m. or scheduling focus time where meetings aren't allowed. And this quote sums it up perfectly. Taking a structured digital break isn't about being lazy or avoiding work. It's a strategic, practical way to manage your mental energy, your cognitive load, so you can actually do your job better and more sustainably. It's about working smarter. So, Let's end with this one last question for you to think about. Don't worry about some massive, life-changing plan. Just think about one thing. What is the one small, totally doable change you can commit to starting today to begin taking back a little piece of your focus? Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, like, and leave a comment to support the channel.